Okay, so we're practicing hitting on guys at the bars. This girl is
This is how you get men to take care of you and how to unlock your feminine energy.
Not sure if you heard, but in 2024, dating apps are out and meeting men in the wild is in.
I find it so funny that guys are intimidated by girls who live in the...
Since no man is approaching modern women, they're learning how to do it themselves.
I keep a roster on me, and the girls want to know, where in New York do you meet the fine young men?
Why men are intimidated by successful business women.
Ladies, if you want to meet someone naturally out in the wild, listen the fuck up.
Okay, it's time for me to stop gatekeeping my pickup lines for men.
They're so quick to say men are intimidated, but they never mention their nasty attitude. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Have you ever been in a situation where you see a cute guy and you want to talk to him, but you don't know how to start the conversation? You don't want to come across like you're hitting on him because you don't know how he'll respond. Well, here's how to do it the right way. Depending on the situation, ask for his opinion or ask for his help on something. Say you're in a coffee shop, he's standing behind you. Ask him what drink you should get because you can't choose. The reason this works is because guys love when you value their input and they love feeling like a hero. So if he's interested, he'll continue to carry on the conversation and hopefully ask for your number at the end of it.
Question for the men. If you were to be approached in the wild by a woman, what's a good pickup line? Hey, are you single? That seems a little too forward. Hey, thought you were cute, just want to say hi. Like, that's nice, I think. Like, what's a good one that shows interest, but also isn't too weird or just scary? But also, I feel like the success rate for this would be semi-high because it never happens to men. I need help.
If I'm approached in the wild, I usually assume it's the beginning of some sort of scheme or plot. It's never happened, so I don't even know. They could ask me for the time, and I'd fold over. There's no right answer. Just say what you like about that particular man, your style, your hair, etc., and go from there. Most will be thrilled. Picking up men is not as technique sensitive compared to picking up women. A man doesn't need a pickup line, just the approach is enough to surprise him. But I'm honestly shocked by the amount of women wondering how to get approached by men or approach men. It was already clear to me that women wanted to be left alone and not be bothered. Now they're the ones instigating the bothering. All of a sudden, they're all ready for marriage in their 30s. What's the catch?
None of us in here can be considered traditional women. And back then, an average guy could get a traditional woman. And now what does he get? He gets a boss bitch, a boss babe, a girl that's been ran through. He gets an ex-hoe. He gets a born-again virgin. Like,
what do
this
I
is,
get?
as women, this is what do we get? We still get protection and provisioning.
Are you sure?
And the average salary, here's the thing. The average salary could cover an apartment. But the thing is, like, women, we want this lifestyle that's not even realistic nowadays. Like, we want men that make more than we do, and we want them to pay all of the bills. But it's like, we all have our nails done. We have, we get our hair dyed. We have makeup. We have all of this stuff that costs money because we want this lifestyle. And I've had girls come on my show and I say, would you date an average guy for companionship? But you would have to go down in lifestyle. And they say, no, we're addicted to lifestyle.
The more you give, the more they want. Eventually, you can no longer provide. Discarded and disposed after they find the replacement. God, I am so thankful I married the woman I did 26 years ago. I could not imagine trying to find the same values in women today. I get to stay home with the kids and homeschool, cook, clean, have pets. I'm fortunate, but the best thing is, I get love from my husband. Bought a dog instead. No drama. Peaceful lifestyle is the main goal after working every day. I'm almost 60, was married 23 years. That woman never did a thing for me, and after that, not one girlfriend. No more. I now live in total peace. For them to be able to live such a lifestyle, they need a walking ATM. That's why they're not willing to go down in lifestyle and date a regular guy. These women are all chasing the same types of men, not knowing that they do not qualify to be with such a man. They also see all of these women on social media taking trips and living a lavish lifestyle and aspire to have that kind of life. They claim they're looking for love, but ignore the man that would give it to them. In conclusion, modern women aren't looking for love. They're looking for a sponsor.
Guys, I figured out the reason why I'm single. Apparently you have to go outside and meet people. Like, you actually have to go outside and talk to them. Yeah, gonna be a no from me.
Another update on the Trying to Find a Man in the Wild series featuring Jess. Public parks. The men are out here. They're playing spike ball. They're having boys picnics, which is like a girl dinner, but with cute boys. And I think that if a group of girls went to a cute park and there was a cute group of guys, you have a very, very strong success rate. Also, we are at a park in Seattle right now.
Okay, serious question. Why are men so intimidated by women who can do things on their own? Like, what is it about women who have their own things that make men feel like they aren't in control or are in competition with them? Like, shouldn't that be a good thing, that you don't have to take care of them? Like, serious question. Let me know what it is. Like, what is it about a strong, independent woman that scares a man?
Not intimidate. It doesn't scare me at all. It's better for us both. We can conquer anything together. Two heads are better than one. Love strong women. To be honest, most men love strong, independent women, but no man or woman likes someone who is unappreciated. Usually that's what it comes down to. Men are natural protectors, providers, and leaders of their circle. If a woman doesn't match a man's natural instincts, it affects the man's psyche. It's not women being independent. It's women throwing their independence in our face. We don't like that. Question answered. A so-called strong, independent woman, which is a regular adult, by the way, does not scare a man. It's the attitude that drives the man away. A woman's power lies in her being feminine, not her trying to compete with her man and not respecting him. Most men would love a woman that's successful so they can build even more empires together. It's just that the attitude gots to go.
Here are a few reasons why you should never chase a woman. Number one, it's going to make you look needy. Number two, unless she's initiating conversation or showing some sort of interest in you with quicker responses, there really just is no reason to expel your energy in that sense. And three, this kind of goes with what I just said, but if she's truly interested, she would either reach out or initiate some sort of text or call, something like that. Otherwise, she's probably just not that interested, unfortunately.
High-value men don't waste time chasing women. High-value men chase purpose. That's correct. A woman will never put you through the hoops if she's really into you. If she's really into you, you will not have to do extra to get her attention. Women only set rules for guys that they do not like. For the guys that they like, it's really easy for them to get that woman. If you're ever in that situation, she's not really into you.
Okay, so we're practicing hitting on guys at the bars. This girl is a pro. Have to see her trick. It's genius. What not to do? Don't smile and look at the same time. Instead, look, then smile. It's way more inviting. Can you see the difference?
Hold it for one beat more than you think you should.
You'll know you're looking at them and not someone else.
Like, that's the vibe. Come talk to me, and if I want to, I'll talk back.
Then maybe I'll talk back. Yeah. Good luck, ladies.
Cheers.
I read all the books on dating and psychology, and here are the 3 ways to make a man have no choice but to chase after you. Be busy. You gotta fit him in. Never make yourself too available for a man. I don't care if your entire day is free, you're busy. Schedule a week in advance. Please and thank you. Don't be overly impressed by his behavior. You need to act like the nice things he does for you are expected. This is standard. Like, this is standard. Like, no shit. If you make it seem like he's doing something spectacular, he's not going to chase you anymore. This one's the most important one. You need to be okay with him walking away at any point. Like, truly, in your core, you have to feel okay with him walking out at any point, because he'll feel that energy. It'll make him go insane and chase you. Trust me. Fall for more.
I don't are not intimidated because you make money, sis. They don't want to deal with your attitude. Women think it's attractive to be a lot to handle. No, grow up, sis.
This is how you get men to take care of you and how to unlock your feminine energy. You attract what you are. If you are in your masculine energy, you will attract feminine men. To get into your feminine energy, you have to practice living a soft life. Practice resting, spoiling yourself, pampering yourself, until you genuinely start to feel like a little girl again. There are 2 ways to approach a man and ask him to do things for you. Number 1, when you are asking for something, instead of feeling guilty, like you could just do it yourself, feel like this man's daughter. In the back of your mind, literally remember what it felt like to be a child and just ask your parents for things. Mom, Dad, I'm hungry, make food. Children are in their feminine energy. They are being taken care of, they are very connected to their emotions, and they are just playful. The second thing you want to do when you approach a man is be a lady. When you act and look like a lady, men don't want you to grab your own door. They don't want you to pull out your wallet. They genuinely notice you as a lady and they know how to act because you're a lady. They'll offer you things. They'll make sure that you're not in sketchy areas. They'll make sure that you're safe. You're welcome.
Some of these women don't need to act like children. They already do. The men who was already treating these women like princesses stopped getting that treatment because they didn't appreciate that man, nor show that man gratitude. Matter of fact, what they did was friend-zone such a man and then go be with the F-boys. These modern women will continue to struggle to find a good man because they've already discarded the ones that would do anything for them. And I don't think a man wants to feel like he's dating his daughter. That's just weird.
Okay, it's time for me to stop gatekeeping my pickup lines for men. How I get men at the bars, specifically. Hi, are you single? Awesome. My name's Laura. I think you're hot. Can I get your number? That's it. Foolproof, has worked every time.
The fact of the matter is this woman isn't wrong. This would actually work because most men don't get approach. But the men who attend the bars are probably just there to have fun.
I have a tip for single ladies. So you're out at a bar and you want a man to come up to you. Don't approach them. Men tend to not like that. But how do you get them to come over to you? You lock eye contact for 4 seconds. Yeah, it's that simple. 4 seconds can feel like a really awkward and long amount of time. But just do it. And if they don't come over within a few minutes, do it again but add a little wink at the end. And if they still don't come over, they probably are married or have a girlfriend. But it's not like you're overtly being rejected or being too forward. You're just letting them know that if they wanted to come over, you'd be open to that. Men, what do you think about this? I think the stare makes a big difference. There's a huge difference between and the practice in the mirror.
I honestly don't think that men are intimidated by strong women. However, I do believe that they can be turned off by a woman who misuses her strength to fight and compete unhealthily against men instead of working alongside them. I do believe, however, that weak men can't handle a strong woman. But first, let's define what I consider to be a strong woman. A strong woman expresses her boundaries. She knows who she is, and she is certain of what she wants. She is true to her values, her morals, and her principles. And she obviously shows respect for herself and to those around her. She doesn't care slightly what people think about her as long as she remains true to her beliefs. That's the strong woman I'm talking about. And weak men can't really handle that type of woman because they can only love someone that they can control. And when a woman is just okay with or without you, there is no control in her.
We don't care anymore. We have seen this game. We are leaving you alone. Plus, we don't want alpha women. More feminine women, please. Go to your cats. Nah, you are just referring to a masculine woman who wants simps to control. It's toxic feminism. This is why it's not working with my ex. She is too busy working against me instead of with me. I'll make it very simple for you. Men are looking for a divine feminine woman. We're not looking for masculine women. It's exactly this. I'm not intimidated by them. It's just when they come off as cocky and arrogant and full of themselves, it's a major turn-off. There. If you're so dedicated to God, then you know that the man is the leader and the woman follows. Some of us don't want to deal with some woman's huge attitude and ego that goes with it. Not about control, but more about respect in the relationship. I will agree to this to some extent, but most men don't even like hearing the word strong because these women use their obnoxious and disrespectful behavior to cover up their insecurities by belittling them. Again, like I said, a man loves a woman that has her things in order. If a man can find a woman that's got good feminine qualities and is successful, I don't think he will have any issues unless she starts acting very different in the relationship. They might even call it future wife.
What does it mean if a guy calls you intimidating? It simply means that he is intimidated because your strength, your beauty, your accomplishments make him feel insecure. And you know why that's great news for you? Because you don't need weak men. And if a guy can't tell the difference between illuminating and intimidating, then he's not the guy for you. Because the right guy will embrace you as you are.
This is incorrect. These women are feeding themselves the idea that men are intimidated by their beauty and success. The word beauty is outdated because women today walk around wearing war paint on their face and call that being beautiful. Maybe that's what intimidating those men. And a woman's success doesn't mean anything to a man. He's always going to try and build for himself. Most of the time these women have shitty personalities and character that drives those men away. But you never hear them mentioning that part.
This is the best way to give a guy a green light to approach you if you're working in a coffee shop. I used to do this all the time. It had such a high success rate, and I tell all my single girlfriends to do this, and it has a high success rate for them too. So most of the time you're working on your laptop, right? Let's say you see a cute guy, you know he sees you. Let's say you make eye contact. You might all of a sudden look back down and just go back to it, and you just hope that he'll come over. No. This is what you want to do. Make eye contact, give a little smile, and when you look down, keep smiling. Keep smiling like you have that giddiness, like you're so excited. This gives a guy a green light, okay? He thinks, she's excited about me. There's a little bit of electricity in the air. And then they are way more likely to go up to you. As before, if you just make eye contact, look down and pretend that there's nothing there, he might be like, oh, is that just a coincidence that we made eye contact? I don't know. So make eye contact, smile, look down, keep smiling. Trust me.
This is great advice. Guys won't approach unless they're sure that's what she wants. Nobody wants to be considered a creep. Make it safe and inviting. I feel embarrassed to show interest. I need help. Wish more ladies would do this. This is great advice indeed, but how many women will actually put it in the works? The mistake these women are making is waiting for men to make the first move, which is very unlikely to happen. Because now, before a man makes a move, he has to think about the outcome of just approaching a woman.
I'm going to tell you exactly how to get him to chase after you, and all it takes is 3 easy tricks. Number 1, make it seem like you moved on. The less interest that you give him and the more that you show that you're not waiting around, he's going to realize and want to come running right back. Number 2, keep yourself busy and live your life. Whether that means going to dinner with friends, going clubbing, going partying, do whatever you want and don't focus all of your time on what he's doing. And number 3, treat him exactly how he's treating you. If he's not showing that he's invested in you and not putting in any effort, do the exact same thing and strip him of the attention that he wants. Not only will this make him chase after you, it'll also help you to move on yourself and completely forget about him anyway.
When women are masculine, you can forget about being with a masculine man because we're going to look the other way. We do not want masculine women. No, we don't care if you got the bag, or we don't care if you're bossed up. Men don't care about your money. We don't care how much money you have. We don't care how much status you have. All we care about is the traditional attributes that come with femininity.
So even when this man voiced his truth, this is what the angry women had to say. Nah, you're just intimidated by us. If you're intimidated, just say that, dog. So they want a submissive woman. Men, he said, gentlemen don't get intimidated by alpha female. Maybe these women think being a masculine alpha woman is attractive. But in reality, the truth is, it's not. It's just pushing all the men away. When more and more men travel overseas, they will start acting better. For now, dating a woman in the West is literally jumping in the snake's mouth.
I saw this really cute guy at the grocery store the other day, so naturally I followed him to the checkout counter, and when he gave the cashier his credit card, I peeped it to see what his name was. And then I Googled him and found his social media profiles, and I was able to tell that he was single. So I went through his friends list and I found his mother's page. And then I looked through his mother's page and I saw that she was a member of this book club that's in my area. So I sent a request to join the book club. So I went to the book club meeting and I met his mom there, and we bonded over some books that we both liked. And she just thought I was so nice. And I brought it up randomly in conversation that I was single. And she let me know that she had a son that was single also that lived in the area. And maybe it would be cool for us to get together and chat sometime. So I gave her my number, which she gave to her son. And this morning he texted me and asked if I'd like to get together this weekend and do something. So I guess we're going to go on a date. I'm really excited.
I really hope the guy happens to see this video and rethink his decision. This is absolutely creepy.
Men, I have questions and I want answers and I want them now. I'd be keen to hear from men in the age between 25 to 30, but also the older men who may have been these immature imbeciles previously in their life. Why are you incapable of being honest about your feelings? Why do you tell girls everything they want to hear but you don't mean it? Or do you mean it but then you panic and change your mind? Or you just change your mind but you can't tell us that? Why? Are you just scared of the confrontation? You're intimidated by a 5'2" girl? Is that what it is? I'm more likely to respect you and even come crawling back to you in a few months' time if you're just honest with me. It's the not knowing and making girls feel like absolute shit and like they've done something wrong, when actually it says so much more about you if you can't even communicate like what the problem is. Leave us alone until you sort your shit out.
Why men are intimidated by successful business women? I think it has something to do with them. It's not about me. I know that I paved my way in this industry from the school of hard knocks. Many triumphs and many fails. I don't think a man should be intimidated by my success. I think he should look at it like, oh wow, I have a partner. I have somebody that can go do things with me and that can participate in my life, add value to my life. The way I look at it and the way I keep my circle today, it's very, very tight. And if you don't bring value to my life, you're not in my life. So what do you think, ladies? Have you ever had a man get intimidated by your success?
That's for the girlies and not my usual content. I wanted to share with you guys the best way to meet men in the wild, and I promise you, you have never heard this tip before. Okay, so the other day I was listening to a podcast with Serena Kerrigan, who I love. Her advice is basically to just look men in the eyes if you want them to come up to you, which is literally so true. Obviously, it's probably pretty intimidating, so they need like an invitation, right? Okay, here is where my tip comes in. Do the look thing, and then get a phone case with your name on it. Stay with me. I swear like half the time I get hit on when I'm out is because of the phone case. So when you're at the bar, just set your phone case like down, facing out like this, as if this was the bar, and just enjoy your night. Talk to your friends, whatever. Make sure the phone case is visible. And I swear 9 times out of 10, a guy will come up to me and be like, Beverly? And I'm like, oh my God, how do you know my name? And then we all laugh. He asks for my number. You fall in love. Literally the other day, I was at a brunch and my phone was out on the table. And the guy at the table next to us was like, oh my God, I love the name Beverly. Boom, he's in. So go buy yourself a phone case with your name on it, test out my theory, and report back.
This is what I mean when I say women will do everything else except making the first move. I got to say it's a pretty good idea though, but women don't even need to go to such extent. If the girl is pretty enough, the guy will most likely say yes. They don't have to worry as much when it comes to making the first move. But when it comes to a guy, he most likely will get rejected if he doesn't match her checklist.
You don't want the guy that approaches every single girl, but you don't want to approach a man and not be in your feminine energy. This is what you're going to do. You need to be choosing which man you want to be chasing you, so you're actually attracted to the man that is chasing you. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're out with your friend and you see a man that you think is handsome. He looks like the type of man that you would want chasing you. This is what you're going to do. Ask him to take a picture of you and your friend, and then when you get the phone off him, look at the picture in front of him, smile, make eye contact with him, and say, wow, you take amazing pictures. Okay, fine, maybe I'll have to hire you. Basically, compliment him on how well he's taken that picture and make a flirty joke with him. Now you've expressed interest and open the floor for him to make conversation with you and for him to come and chase you. And that is how you select the man that you actually want to have chasing you while staying in your feminine energy.
Do you judge a guy based on height? Does height matter?
That is such a good question.
Yeah. It does?
Yeah. But there's this.
They can't choose whether or not they get to be tall.
Well, someone else will love them, not me.
Oh, well, that makes everything okay then, doesn't it? But wait.
So I judge based on things that you can change.
Based on things we can change. Now, there's a radical notion. Let's hear it.
For example, how much makeup you wear. So I got some makeup removing wipes because I love...
No, get the fuck up out of here.
Oh, that didn't go over well, did it?
What the hell? Why would you want to take off my makeup?
Oh, I don't know, to see what they really look like.
Because you're judging guys based on height.
You can see my face.
I can't. You got a whole mask on.
Well, that's very true. But if you think that's funny, just wait.
Does height matter in a guy?
I think we already know what the answer to that question's going to be.
Yes,
it does. Because I think weight matters.
Oh, look, something else that a person can, for the most part, control. I wonder how that'll go over.
Height don't matter.
Well, that was fun. I know I always enjoy watching some individuals get upset over being shown their own double standards.
I think if more men do this, we can continue destroying this double standards viewpoint of modern women. Whenever the script is flipped on them, this is how they react. And they have the audacity to say women can handle the truth. What a joke.
You guys, I figured out the secret to meeting dudes. Go to a nice bar and just sit at the bar alone. If you look good, I promise you will get approached. I never realized how many men go to the bar alone until I went to the bar alone. There's a lot of dudes just sitting there. And yeah, obviously some of them are weird, but some of them are not weird. I was at a really nice bar waiting for my friends to get there, and I ended up being there alone for like 2 hours. Don't ask. I get approached by one guy immediately. He buys me a drink. He leaves. I wasn't really interested anyway. Immediately, another guy comes and sits in his spot and buys me a drink. And that guy was cool. It was more like friend vibes, but like the odds are in your favor if you do this. Obviously, be careful and use your judgment, but that shit works.
Here's another tip. I forgot about this one. It's very good. If you want to go up to a guy and if you want to initiate it, but you don't want to go up and talk to him or whatever, you go up to him and ask him to do you a favor. You say, would you mind taking a picture of my friend and I? Or you stand next to him, you have to tie your shoe or something, and you say, could you hold my jacket really quick? You ask him to do you a favor, and A, that's tapping into their masculinity, and they'll feel useful and helpful and like the knight in shining armor. And B, right when it's done, you say, thank you so much. I'm Emma, by the way.
Men are always so intimidated by tall women. And I get it. You're afraid we're gonna step on you. Heck, maybe you've even been stepped on by a tall woman before. But I'm not like that. I'm a gentle giant. I'm not the kind of tall woman who would get angry and step on you. There's no need to be intimidated, baby. Unless you act up.
Some men might refrain from dating tall women because they like wearing heels, but some of them don't care about that because they see it as a challenge to climb a tall tree.
Ladies, if you want to meet someone naturally out in the wild, listen the fuck up. I just saw a statistic that said that 86% of women who make the first move end up marrying that man. 86%. And listen, I know you've heard time and time again, drop into your feminine, let the guy approach you, let him chase you, let him do all of the work. Listen, there's a huge difference between shooting your shot and then chasing after a guy. I don't think many people realize that shooting your shot, you actually have a really good chance that something could work out of it because it doesn't happen very often. And when I personally have shot my shot, the amount of times guys have come to me like, wow, the amount of confidence. Let me just put you on. And it's not even like you have to do all the work. All you have to do is just give them a little layup for them to shoot the shot. I'm gonna tell you what I personally do in public, but I want you to put this in perspective. The guys that tend to hit on girls, like, I want you to just think back really quick to the past couple of times that you've been hit on out in public. Usually it's not the type of guys that you want to hit on you. It's usually like the creepy guys that pursue everyone, the guys that bounce around, the guys that you really probably can't trust, the way too charming, way too in your face kind of guys. Okay, usually 9 times out of 10. It's the guys that sit back, don't want to bother you for risk of coming off as that creepy guy, that usually have a lot of potential. The biggest flop, the biggest fail, don't walk up to them like, oh my God, you're so cute. Oh my God, let me buy you a drink. Pick me. No, we're not doing that. Rewind. Here's what we're gonna do instead. So it really just depends on the environment. Sometimes I will literally just wave and like smile, like say hello. Sometimes I'll ask a question. I will ask for a small favor. Guys love being able to help you out. Subconsciously, they're like, wow, I am the knight in shining armor. I would love to hold this jacket for you while you go to the restroom or something of that nature. Okay, small favors, small things, small questions. Hey, can you help me? I'm lost. Oh, you're on a hike. Ask them for directions. Oh, you're out in public and you don't know how to get to the closest gas station. I don't know. I was in the grocery store once and this guy was like, oh, what kind of peanut butter do you think would be best? And I literally just, we had a full conversation about peanut butter. He opened the door. I wasn't interested, but like smooth, creamy, if you will. Okay, like literally ask them for a small thing and then introduce yourself. Make it a little segue. If you feel the vibe that they are receptive, you've already opened the door for them. And then at that point, it is up for them to walk right through the door. It's up to them to do the chasing at that point. You've already opened yourself up to communication. It's up to them to make the next move. Then you can fall into your feminine, whatever. You can thank me later. And also follow me on Instagram in case TikTok gets banned.
I did this, and he looked me up and down and said, no, I always shoot my shot, and 4.5 years later, I'm still single. I got rejected very respectfully, and I'm never doing it again. Didn't work for me, got ghosted. Every time I made the first move, the guy starts acting like he's the prize. So that's a no from me. I shot my shot once in my life, and he ended up inviting me to a party with his hockey team that same day. I just talked to a guy at a coffee shop today, and we're hanging out next week. The women in the comments that are complaining about getting turned down once or twice are in a better position than most guys who makes the first move approaching women. A regular man will approach 200 women and probably get one date out of that. There's also been more success stories of women who made the first move ends up getting married. For these women who got their ego hurt has just been humbled. They just got a little taste of what men go through on a daily basis.
Are you trying to get somebody to chase you? Then you have to ignore them, ma'am. Ignore them and start dating another one. Or act like you're dating someone. Make it seem like you could be dating someone. Don't tell them that you're dating someone. But just like, oh, I'm busy. I've got to go out and get dressed up, go. Men always want what they can't have, so that's it. If you're just trying to get them to chase, then act like you don't even want them and that you aren't interested in another, but don't tell them. Just act like you are. Like, oh, I'll have to go, I'm late. Oh, I'll call you later. Oh, you know what? But look good all the time. So he thinks you're, going out.
I truly believe this woman has lost her soul. Every one of her advice to women is some kind of manipulation tactic. A real man wouldn't be playing those games. He would get rid of her immediately. Doing this to a guy will either get him hurt or confuse. But again, real men don't chase women. They chase goals.
I find it so funny that guys are intimidated by girls who live in the West Village. We're not intimidated by you living in Fide Eye. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Your mom's proud of you. Joe's Pizza on me. I'm so proud of you. Why aren't you proud of me?
Ladies, men are intimidated by masculine women because they find it disrespectful. That's it. It's not money.
All men want the same thing. Men just want a nice, sweet, supportive woman. You don't even have to be that beautiful. And women can make themselves more beautiful. Like, don't be fat. Like, go to the gym. It's not that difficult. Eat healthy. Not that difficult. You can put a little bit of makeup on, not too much. But ultimately, men just want a supportive, kind, sweet woman. He's going to go out there, take on the world, do all these difficult things, and he just wants to go home and know that there's peace, there's food on the table, the house is clean. It's really not that difficult.
If you want a shy guy to pursue you, these are 3 necessary steps you need to take to get him to ask you out. Starting with number 1, you're gonna have to drop a heavy hint. So you're gonna have to be extra obvious in the fact that you like him. So maybe you're even flirtier than normal, or you've got even more open body language than usual. Number 2, you have to be approachable, because remember, these guys are already afraid to approach. So be smiley, be receptive, be kind. Do not act standoffish at all, or it will scare these guys away. And last but not least, number 3, remember, these are still men, and men are hunters. So give him the chance to ask you out, because if he likes you, he will.
You know, it really shouldn't be this complicated for a woman to get a guy, considering the fact that it's easier. These women are using a 3-step method when they can only use one, which is to just be direct and ask him out. I think it's the thrill of being chased thereafter. It just seems to me these women are just looking for an ego boost. If not, why not approach the guy?
Okay, the best way to get any guy's attention at a bar is this. And I was voted biggest flirt in high school, so I feel like I kind of know what I'm talking about. Go have fun. Be at a bar and genuinely be having fun. Your girlfriends, take the shots, live, laugh, love, just be enjoying yourself. Guys pick up when girls are having fun authentically versus when you're there like sipping on your tequila sodas, wondering if anyone's gonna come talk to you. Obviously someone's gonna come talk to you. You guys are hot, you're beautiful, like it's fine. But if you're giving out the energy, like you're just waiting for like someone to come and make a move, I swear it's like repellent and no one wants that energy. Like people can feel each other's energy. So go out this weekend, have fun, flirt, dance, take tequila shots, whatever it may be in the moment. And I swear it'll be your secret charm.
Open to the idea of like speaking to multiple guys. I've always been. I feel like in order for me to actually settle down and like be with one person, I would have to be getting like the same energy reciprocated, and they'd be having to really call for me and be like, I want to be with you. This is how I feel. And then at that point on, I'll be like, okay, like they're giving all of them to me. Like now I'm ready to like fully commit and be serious to this person. Right. But I think until then, it's a playing field. I don't believe someone should get all your attention just because it's like the beginning stage and we're talking. Like I'm not going to close off any doors to see where this goes until you reassure me that you're all in and that you're solidifying what we have. Yeah.
So you want the man to only talk to you while you talk to everyone? Got it. 5 years from now. Where are all the good men? The reason why they're asking right off the bat is because they hit 30. They've had 5,000 miles of pipe laid into them. The wall is coming, so the guy has to close doors to dedicate time and effort to meet your assurances. But you don't have to change or eliminate anything in that time period. At this point, there's no saving these modern women. It's really shocking when they speak. They don't hear how ridiculous they sound. The only thing that can humble them now is time.
This is how I literally train men to give me princess treatment. The key is to stop being a people pleaser. If he asks, can you meet him on the date? I'll just say, no, I don't feel like driving right now. If he says to Uber, I'll just be like, okay, send me an Uber. If he asks to go on a coffee date, a coffee date is boring. Like trying new food at restaurants or going to watch shows, that's what I'm down for. Like you need to remember that this man is trying to date you and you have all the power. And what I love to do is be literally the bitchiest bitch I could be the most difficult, the most complicated person I can be. Because if he drops out in that first hour when you say no to a coffee date, the trash is taking itself out. If you know how to do these 3 things, men will literally worship you, spoil you, and give you as much princess treatment as you want. First thing is learning how to attract a high value masculine man who will actually spoil you and give you princess treatment. But attracting him in a way where you are the prize and he is chasing you, he is courting you, he is literally obsessed with you. And I learned all of this from just watching a few videos in the high value woman formula.
This is the kind of advice that keeps women dating and never be married until they reach 50 and still searching for a husband. She should call this how to instantly make someone lose interest in you. Any woman who's playing these kind of games with a man is destined to be lonely for the rest of her days.
How to get your crush to talk to you with 0 effort. I haven't heard anyone on TikTok talk about this. When I was in high school, I wanted my crush to talk to me, so I went on YouTube and I did all this research. Bestie, let me tell you, this guy named Matthew Hussey gave me the most legit advice and I used it and it worked. So when your crush or someone you find attractive is within close proximity, walk in front of them and just drop something. There's a 90% chance he's gonna pick it up and come up to you and say, "Oh lady, you dropped your lip gloss." So when I did it in high school, it actually worked and me and my crush talked the entire break.
You ever wonder why so many males are upset at strong women? You see, a strong woman can be 100% obligated, devoted, committed to all of the roles of being a woman, while also achieving about 80% of what is typically assigned to the male gender role. So for a weak, insecure male, she is a constant reminder of how feminine he is by not being able to achieve those same goals. You see, a strong masculine man will never be upset with a strong woman, quite the opposite. Because he understands that women crave masculinity. They want leadership. They desire a man to protect them, to keep them safe. They want a partner that comes along beside them and says, "I want to help you. I want to take care of you. I want to be here for you." But a strong woman will never ask. She will never beg and she will never plead. So if you're one of those guys who's upset about strong women, ask yourself the question, why are you so weak and insecure in yourself?
Yes, a man knows that women love masculinity, but he does not want a combative, unsupportive woman. Men already knows what women want. It's the women that don't know what men wants, and we're the simplest creatures in the world. If a man comes across a woman calling herself strong and he doesn't run, he's in for a world of pain and suffering, especially when they make it their whole personality.
Listen, don't feel bad for not dating potential, because men don't date potentially beautiful women, so why would you date a potentially successful man?
That logic doesn't apply to men, because beauty isn't the only thing men care about. They also care about a woman's character. A man can take a broke woman from the street and provide her with a beautiful life. The world has never heard of a woman doing such a thing. As long as she's a good woman, that's all he cares about.
When a guy sees a girl that don't really need him, they feel like, what am I here for? And then they just feel like they less than. So I feel like, yeah, they do be intimidated. They can't really like control you because you could do everything by yourself.
The only way a guy will be intimidated is if they feel like they can't bring nothing to the table. Because if I'm somebody who's bringing a table to the table, of course you're going to feel intimidated by me.
Incorrect.